Hi, it's Senator Tom Kean, and you're listening to the 10th Kitchen Table Talk. We're sharing these regularly in order to continue our discussions on the important issues of the day with the people who are making a difference in our community. Today, we will be speaking with Jessica Walker, owner of J.Walker Salons. She opened her first location 24 years ago at the age of 19. Jessica went on to grow the business, opening two more salon locations in our area. The public health crisis has forced all three locations to remain closed since March. However, Jessica is working hard to find solutions to open safely and effectively later this month. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me today, Jessica. Tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you for having me. So, like you said, I started 24 years ago. I've grown from absolutely no employees to over 60 across four locations in the Somerset County area. And this has been absolutely devastating to my business, my industry, my family, particularly, and overall. I'm here to absolutely urge the governor to allow us to open because all businesses need to open and we all need to have some consistency here with what's going on in our state.
Well, you've been providing a wonderful service for many clients across, again, many different communities for 24 years. You've been doing it safely, you've been doing it effectively. How would you recommend and go about keep opening safely?
So I would say we're absolutely ready. From the time that we first closed, and I closed voluntarily prior to the governor's order, we were practicing sanitizing the stations in between every client, the use of gloves, always sanitizing our equipment. We always do that. We're licensed professionals, and underneath the Division of Consumer Affairs, we have, practices that we already implement every day. We can exceed the expectations of the standards always, but we're absolutely ready and able to get open. Some of the additional measures we were going to take is taking temperatures, of course, wearing masks, having a waiver go out to all of our clients prior to them coming in so that they can let us know if they've been sick or out of the country or even out of the state. We want to have information on them so that the employees can be protected as well. But we definitely are capable, able to open safely, slowly, and in stages. But we need to get open. I mean, the time has come now where we really have to open our doors.
You had over 60 employees and many clients who were benefiting from your services. You were an institution. You started at your first business at the age of 19, and you've been doing this really almost every day since. Obviously, as a small business entrepreneur and owner. How did you decide to start a business at 19? Tell me about that.
So I graduated from high school and I needed to do something in order to make money. And I decided that next Monday to enter into cosmetology school. And I was working a part-time job while I was going to school. And just prior to getting out of school, we came across a location in Bernardsville where I started my first salon. And I said, this is it, sink or swim. And I took out a loan with the help of my family, and I opened up and I hadn't looked back. I never had to borrow money again from anybody. And it was really hard to do, to be honest with you. When I look back, it's kind of like, well, how did I get here? But at the same time, when you are prepared and you follow protocols, both in business and sanitary wise, you can absolutely stay in business and then you grow your business that way. So I think I'm very involved with my community in Bernardsville and all the towns that I'm in. And I believe that that's probably why I'm still here in business, is having that foundation of giving back. I believe in that strongly. And so does everybody that's on my team. They know when they're hired that we have a very big component of giving back to the community and supporting, organizations like Heartworks, which I sit as a board of director, as well as Diva for a Day. They're local, to our town, but they make a huge difference in our community. And that's how I believe that I'm still sitting here. And it's a shame that now, because of the governor's order, I'm really subject to losing everything and could potentially have to go bankrupt. And like many other salons across the state of New Jersey, we need to get open because the safety and the mental health of our staff is really at risk here. They need their jobs. We need our jobs. I have 5 children. I have a daughter that was supposed to get married that was canceled because of the virus. I have 2 kids in college. I have 2 smaller boys. And I have a lot of staff members that all have children and they're the sole breadwinner of the family. And, I'm urging the governor now to allow us to open, allow us a voice to be heard. and give us a platform to speak up and perhaps be on a task force to give our insight on how we can make him feel comfortable and safe, being that he's got the magic wand.
Well, I think that's one of the things many people across the state are getting frustrated with the governor right now. Is just when you look at other states, Pennsylvania, New York, Florida, there are health and economic standards and safety standards that people understand where you are on the grid. But New Jersey uniquely seems to have no basis for its decision making, and so many people feel that it's absolutely arbitrary. So that businesses like yours are being pushed out weeks and weeks and weeks from now when others are opening, and there's no consistency among any consumer-based business in the state right now.
Right. That's the hardest part for me to swallow, is that, um, this is America. And in the beginning, when this first happened, we closed down voluntarily along with a lot of other businesses to do the right thing and to be a part of the solution as opposed to the problem. And now at this point, I believe as Americans, we should be able to choose whether or not we want to take our dogs to get a haircut, go to church, go to Home Depot, go to Walmart, or go get your haircut. I mean, it's coming to the point where I'm going to have to ask my clients to walk in on a leash on all fours so that I can cut their hair. Or as Governor Murphy said, you have to be in a romantic relationship with the person that you cut their hair. That I find to be belittling and degrading to some extent, because that's not what we're about. We're professionals, and I think we need to be viewed as professionals.
But you said before, you're employing 60 people at one point. And you hope to do that again. You're expanding your business, so you're providing great opportunity, great professional skill set, a licensed profession that has extraordinary value and has great sanitary conditions and expectations, and it's really a partnership with the consumer, because you have it in every one of your stores, and every one of your employees knows that keeping people safe and healthy is good for the consumer, it's good for your employees, and it's good for you and your family at home. So everybody has it in their best interest to keep healthy and safe, and as a true partnership. I mean, that's who we should be as a society, right?
Absolutely. And at this point in this, the space that we're in, it's 3 months. Now it's the time that we need to open the businesses, all of them, not be choosy and not say, oh, because this is perhaps women focused, or, my wife is two haircuts away from being a barber. We're a serious profession, and we really help change the lives of our clients. And to be honest with you, our clients are suffering because they can't get that feeling of confidence. When you're on Zoom calls all day long, and if your hair looks like, if your hair doesn't look good, you don't feel good. And when your hair looks good, you feel better. That's with anything. My motto is, when your outer looks good, your inner feels better on some level. And I do believe our clients are really, truly missing us. And how much longer can we go saying no and trying to do the right thing, especially when we're seeing everything else that's going on in our state? It just seems really unfair. It seems cruel. And it seems like there's no heart involved in what's really happening to us little small peons.
What you're talking about earlier is, you're an important component part. You and how many other salons across the state? Thousands and thousands and thousands of salons across the state, and many other small businesses in similar positions that may be sole proprietorships, where somebody took a home loan to start that business. There's this incredible uncertainty and continuing unemployment, and these downtowns aren't growing in the way and thriving in the way right now that they should have, because you were talking just right at the very beginning of our conversation about the volunteer activities that you do.
Hmm.
People can walk into into your business, and you can really be a part of the community and the surrounding communities.
Yeah, we really are. And if, when we have the opportunity to open up our doors, I believe we're going to be a part of the healing process, because people are suffering. They're suffering at home. They're suffering without connection. We as human beings, we need emotional and social connection. That's just how we are made up. And I don't make the rules. I live here, and I know that to be true. So I just think at this point, this length of time, it's just becoming baffling in my mind. Why are we still on this lockdown, this no, you can't work, these small businesses, even the public library in my town in Bernardsville? I saw the director today, and she said, they're not allowed open yet. How come you can't go to the public library? You can sit social distance. You can sit apart. It's a quiet space. No one's even talking in a library. How are you going to spit on someone or, give the coronavirus to anybody there? It just, there's so many inconsistencies that it's super frustrating. And I appreciate you giving me a voice to speak, because hopefully one of these days the governor will hear and he will respond to me, because that's really what I'm requesting.
Well, listen, you're an entrepreneur. You're a risk taker. You employ people. You make a difference in the community and you add value to other people's lives in every aspect of what you do. You're who New Jersey is.
Well, I think that according to the professionals that Governor Murphy picked to be on his team to say what the standards and the regulations are, it doesn't have any small business owners on it. It doesn't have any of us, little entrepreneurs. It's got a lot of other high level executives. And that's concerning to me, because I believe we matter. And the only way that he's going to understand that we matter is if more of us come together and speak out. The problem is it seems like, you get recognition when you're, reckless. And when you're trying to do the right thing and speak professionally and educate the public on what we do for sanitary measures, it seems like it's, somewhat going on deaf ears to get a date of June 22nd.
And you've been trained in sanitary, safety and conditions for 25 years from when you first got your first license. I mean, it's a very involved process to get your first license. You're regulated very, aggressively by the state in many different ways, and it's an extraordinary profession. And having consistency in the decision-making process and clarity is important for all New Jersey residents, because what you're experiencing, so many people around the state are feeling right now.
Yeah, it's interesting because we, underneath the State Board of Cosmetology and Division of Consumer Affairs, we can be inspected at any time, unannounced.
Mhm.
So I don't know about you, what other industries, excuse me, are able to do that. But how is it that, literally they could just walk in anytime? So we always have to be on point. We always have to be, you know, everything has to be sanitary. They come in and they check. And if you're not up to standard, you get fined, and they're big fines.
So as you're looking at opening, you've offered a variety of different ways that you can do it safely. Are there other recommendations when people are looking at the growth of small business in New Jersey? How do we get more people like you who want to say, I'm going to generationally invest in New Jersey in the way that your parents did, the way you're helping your 5 children, and what can we do, generationally to make this a great state?
Do you want me to be honest? We need to change the government. I mean, I think that the people that are leading this state, they need an adjustment. And that's a tough thing for me to say out loud, but it's a free country, and I'm supposed to be able to say what I believe. And I believe that New Jersey is a great state. I believe it's a beautiful state that offers a lot. And I think that a lot of people have been run off due to the government and how it's been run. And until that shifts, and the faith and the belief in the communities that are here, I don't know how that's going to happen.
Well, New Jersey is strong because there are generations of families who stay here. There are people who understand that each town is different when you experience them. That neighbors know neighbors so well, and you experience life with them in so many different important ways. But too many of our friends and relatives know too many people that have been chased out of this state to other environments. And you hear, whether it's from a manufacturing perspective, whether it's from a small business perspective, whether it's from a tax perspective, whether it's what have you, we've got to fight to make sure more and more families stay in New Jersey.
I think that's it's possible, but I think it's going to be an uphill battle, and I think a complete 180 has to happen with the government in order for people to start to have that belief system again, and people more like you have to speak up and say that that's what their plan is going to be, and be serious about it, because I think it's you talk the talk and walk the walk, and that doesn't really happen right now. That's not what we're seeing. That's not what's been going on.
Well, that's why your voice is so important, because you have been able to speak up and you've been able to offer a plan. You've been able to say, I want to re-employ 60 New Jerseyans, have them come off the unemployment rolls and spend the day with clients and making sure that we can continue to grow these communities and grow these businesses again. I mean, that's what we need to continue to have, that advocacy. And it's been incredible to learn from you and work with you, Jessica, and anything we can do to help going forward, anything we can advocate, please let me know. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time that you've given me. Thank you.